Okay, so this is gonna be entirely an audio vlog. I'm literally too lazy to just like get up, put on a shirt, and like turn on the lights because I thought of this topic as I was like getting ready to just fall asleep. So I'm just gonna. This is gonna be audio. Tab over. Don't listen if you don't give a shit about Curb Your Enthusiasm. Because that's going to be the topic of today's vlog. The current season of Curb Your Enthusiasm. So if you don't know, Curb Your Enthusiasm, one of my all-time favorite shows, number two favorite comedy show behind Larry David's other magnum opus, Seinfeld. Both of my top five shows of all time. Some of my favorite pieces of media of all time. Curb Your Enthusiasm has been on hiatus for about 5 years, and it's finally back. And just I watched the first episode like the day after it came out, but I just tonight watched the second and third episode, catching me up, and the episodes themselves are good. They are very, very entertaining and very, very enjoyable. But it's just one of those things, like, there's no laughs. Like, not once did I really, like, other than, like, a chuckle, like, or, like, something like that. Like, not once did I, like, burst out dying laughing at all. Um, and I think this connects to the nature of these episodes well. Um, so Curb Your Enthusiasm is a very is a very like before this season, I guess the wording is like a very although it has like lenient absurdist tendencies, like there'll be occasional like comedic absurdism. For the most part, the narrative and the writing tends to lean on the more plausible and realistic side of comedy. Situations that could feasibly be concocted. I mean, obviously, it's like they're not going to be, these situations are too intricate and too detailed to be anything other than written. However, it's still this idea that this sequence of events makes sense in reality and is feasibly happened. There's no really outliers, so to say, and I feel like this applies to Seinfeld as well. There's no Deus Ex Machina third party elements that can completely drastically modify the comedic formula and bring it on its shoulders. For the most part, Curb Your Enthusiasm remains a sort of grounded in its own universe and own setup show. And I think this is really where the problem with these episodes lies. The show has traded these small interwoven narratives for this big grandiose overarching like absurdist romp, so to say. It's just this massive absurdist comedy saga that is apparently going to last through the entire season. And while good, I think it completely just defeats the purpose of Curb Your Enthusiasm. Like, Curb Your Enthusiasm mastered. I talk about this in my analysis of the Smash Pros and perfecting the art of long form comedy, which you can find on my website, joshclafter.com. This is the idea, and Curb Your Enthusiasm did this exceptionally well through the seasonal arc that was when Larry was in the producers musical. I don't remember, it was either season 3, season 4, one of those seasons. Like, they perfected a long form comedy saga. But the thing about that is that it was a bunch of small jokes and contained episodes coming together to craft one long comedic formulaic joke. There were no external factors or outliers. Like in this, there's these grandiose, like, third party external to the cohesive narrative thing, characters, elements that will just appear in the narrative, like jump into the narrative and be like, we are here now and we are influencing things. Like these loose cannons that aren't set up, they just show up. And I think that's where this season is failing in the eyes of me. Don't get me wrong, it's still very enjoyable and very entertaining. I mean, Larry David is a genius and probably one of, if not the best comedy writers. And it just goes to show you, like, what what strong long form comedy can give you. And I feel like that's what Curb Your Enthusiasm Season 9 is failing on so far. Now, we do have 7 episodes to go, so all of this could completely change, but this is just my opinion so far. And yeah, I really hope it changes back to the old formula, but quite honestly, Curb Your Enthusiasm, to me, is seasons 1 through 8, and whether this is good or not, I've watched seasons 1 through 8 as a cohesive work so many times that I can't really include this in my head in the Curb Your Enthusiasm collective, so to say, despite it being part of that very series. And so no matter what, Curb Your Enthusiasm will always be seasons 1 through 8 to me. Even if season turns out to be the best one, I just feel like that's the case, just simply because I've watched those so many times. But yeah, I'm going to stop rambling about Curb Your Enthusiasm. We're going on, like, we just passed 7 minutes here, so I'm going to actually go to sleep and stop rambling about this shit. Yeah, if you didn't like Curb Your Enthusiasm, you won't be here. Matter of fact, I doubt anyone will be here at this point, so kind of talking to myself, but good night.